Hello, welcome back to TF1C, the Formula One chat. We are here to discuss the Australian Grand Prix. It's the third race in this season's calendar. Very excited for it. Should be a good race. It's going to be an early one.
Very early for us in the UK.
Well, I'm glad we're not in the UK for it, actually. We'll be away, but yeah, means it's an hour earlier. But yeah, should be a very good race. Not been to Australia now for 2 years.
No.
It's been 2 years without the Australian Grand Prix, so that could have an effect. Because obviously there's going to be rookies that have never driven it before.
Yeah.
Like Mick, like Zhou, like... Trying to think.
That's it. Latifi? No.
Albon.
Albon's
probably done... He must have done Australia at some point.
Yeah. Obviously, because it got
but a lot of drivers missing it.
He got called off because of COVID the last 2 years.
Mick, Zhou, Yuki, yeah, they're the three that haven't done it.
But yeah. Hopefully it's still a good race.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, it's been more chaotic.
They have changed a couple
There are some track layout changes, which I think will make the racing a lot better. Taking out that horrible chicane in the middle sector.
Yeah,
which is good. That. Get rid of that. And they've just made the corners much better for racing. Opened them up a little bit, changed the profiling of a few. So, yeah, I think that just improves the racing at the track tenfold. But shall we get into our predictions?
Yeah.
This is our preview. Unfortunately, we won't be able to do a review because we're busy next week. But we're bringing you our preview here and telling you what's going to happen before it happens. We'll start with qualifying, and we'll start, as always, from the back. Who do you think is going to be the slowest driver
It's the man
in Australia?
who I have put there every single week and who has finished there every single race. It is Nicholas Latifi. Not much else to be said. Slow man.
Yeah. Slow man.
And I'm guessing you've also got
he's
Latifi.
not great. I also have Latifi last.
All right,
I'm fairly sure he's going to be last of every quali session we predict this year.
Should we crack on to
Apart from Canada, where he's going to take pole.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of Canada, P19, I've got Lance Stroll.
Wow, harsh. I have Latifi's teammate, Alexander Albon. I think the Williams looks shy. That's why Latifi and Albon are down there. They don't look to have much pace, and I don't think they're going to have any pace here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with Albon. That's why I've put him in P18.
One place higher. I have Sebastian Vettel in P18. I think he's just returning from COVID. Could be a difficult weekend for him.
Yeah, this is going great. P17, I then do have Sebastian Vettel.
And then by P17, I have Lance Stroll.
Oh, so we've got the same bottom four, just in a different order.
Yeah, I don't think there's much up for debate there. Unless someone has a mare or
in the mud,
a breakdown or something like that, I do think it's going to be those four.
Yeah.
In around the bottom four. I mean, Vettel could even be last, considering he's not driven a car
Aston
for
Martin are definitely
2
now
weeks.
a backmarker team.
Yeah, that's very much been established so far this season. That they're not with the pace at the moment.
Okay, P16.
Who have you got?
I've got Esteban Ocon.
That is mental.
Yeah,
that is mental.
And I don't expect much better in the race. I'll just say that.
We've gone very different with our predictions here.
I think they struggled in Bahrain. Were better in.
Alpine did not struggle in Bahrain.
Yeah, they did.
They were in a solid 8-9 for most of the race and finished in a 7-9.
I just think they're going to be slow around Australia.
Jeddah, they were too quick and they were just racing each other all race.
I do think this season it will be more down track to track.
Yeah.
A little bit. And that's why I think they're going to struggle around Australia. Ocon P16.
I disagree, but whatever. My P16 is the McLaren driver. It's Lando Norris. No, I would have put Ricciardo in there, but it is the Australian GP. I'm hoping for his sake that he gets some kind of home advantage to spur him on.
Yeah, but P15, as I said about the Alpines, I've put Fernando Alonso.
You do not rate that Alpine car. You put the Alpines below the McLarens. That is a disgrace.
I put the Alpines 15, 16.
I thought we established in last week's review that
I just think
McLaren were in the bin and Alpine were well up there.
Bad weekend.
All right.
Okay, what's your P15?
My P15 is the AlphaTauri driver Pierre Gasly. I thought they were really going to push on this year. I thought he, as a driver, was really going to push on. But I've got Gasly having a difficult weekend here. He's got limited experience of the track. I don't know. Just don't think it's going to be his weekend. Okay. The car doesn't look amazing. It looks to be just ahead of the back markers, but not quite touching the Merc, the Alpine, that kind of lot. I think they'll get involved in the fight at some tracks. And to be fair, they could here. I'm just predicting a difficult session for Pierre.
Okay. P14, I've got the home hero from down under. It's Daniel Ricciardo.
It's kind of low. Just home race. You don't think it's going to be
P14.
fueled by cheers instead of fuel?
That's just quali.
Oh, he's going to win in the race.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to blow up. It's going to be like that Cars 2.
I think Ricciardo will just make it into Q2.
2 or 3, I can't remember.
But then be knocked out in P14.
Yes. Well, my P14 is Mick Schumacher. I think it's harsh. He's not got points in the first 2 races, but he's never driven Australia before, and I think it's going to take him some time to adapt to it.
Yeah.
So that's why I've got him having a difficult weekend. Maybe he'll get his first points though. Not going to give anything away for later in the video.
P13.
But maybe he will.
P13. Now I have got Guan Yu Zhou.
So again, new to the track. It's going to be difficult, but the Alfa Romeo does look decently pacey, and I think he'll learn a lot from the best finish everyone's second favourite finish driver.
Yes. Yes. Use your P13.
My P13, Yuki Tsunoda. He's never driven Australia before. Mm-hmm. I don't know. He doesn't seem to adapt well to new circuits, so I think I've put Yuki a little bit high here.
Like Imola last year.
I could see Tsunoda dropping a lot. Yeah, he struggled at Imola last year. I think he just doesn't, like in F2 the year before. He's like Bahrain and stuff, which he'd done before, and as we saw in F1, he's done really well at those at Bahrain. Both years he's been in F1.
Yeah,
he
but then
scored good points
for example,
in races,
Imola,
but yeah,
Jeddah. He struggled.
Races like that, he doesn't adapt quickly to new tracks. So I'm thinking Australia, never driven it before. I think 13 might be a little bit high, if I'm honest, but I guess we'll see.
P12, I have got Mick Schumacher. Again, we were saying, hasn't driven the circuit before.
But I do think Mick adapts quicker to new circuits than Yuki. So
I have got Yuki quite high,
but not to new
formulas. That will all be dinged at the end of the race. End of the video. Yeah, P12 for Mick.
P12, I have Daniel Ricciardo at his home circuit. I think he's going to be close to getting into Q3, but I don't think he's quite going to make it. He could, but I just don't think it's his weekend to really get the McLaren up there. It's going to be a solid performance, but not like a mental performance.
So I've got it the other way around. I think in P11, it'll be Lando Norris missing out.
I think that's really high.
Do you?
Yeah. Has he only done one Australian GP, right?
Yeah.
He has limited experience at the track.
Most drivers have already done one.
Yeah, and I guess there are a lot of changes this year, so it's not like it's going to be a huge advantage.
Score points for McLaren in Jeddah. I think he'll want to carry on that. And
of course he's going to want to carry on that. He'll just go, nah, I don't really want points this week. Got enough already.
He'll just miss out on Q3 and get P11. Who's your P11?
Mine's Guan Yu Zhou. I think he's going to miss out only just to his more experienced teammate. Got Bottas P10. But yeah, I think Zhou just going to miss out.
This is an interesting...
To Bottas. Who have you got P10?
I've got Yuki Tsunoda P10. I think he'll scrape through.
Interesting.
And then not really do much else in Q3.
Just kind of go, not even go out, not even bothered. Can't be asked.
No, I think he'll be off the pace, but he'll just get through.
Yeah.
Into Q. Who's your P10?
But as I mentioned, it is, of course, Valtteri Bottas, and just ahead of Bottas,
that's good.
I have his former teammate, Lewis Hamilton. Do you want to do your cool segue now?
Because in P9, on the top of Bottas, I put Valtteri Bottas in P9.
Yeah, quality segue. But yeah, Lewis, shite quality in Jeddah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was all to do with the setup. But if they mess up the setup here, they could once again find themselves low. Yeah. I don't think they'll mess it up as badly, but equally I think it's going to be a difficult qualifying for the 7-time world champ.
Hamilton, in P8, I have put Lewis Hamilton.
Right. Okay.
This is going great.
Yeah, you got an interesting set.
Yeah, I think, again, struggled a little bit. I think once again he'll be out-qualified by his younger teammate George Russell. But where have I put Russell? Find out in a bit. Who's your P8?
My P8 is the Dane Kevin Magnussen. He's back in Formula 1 now. And I'm thinking, Haas, I think they're going to get revenge for a difficult first ever Australian Grand Prix. I think it was their first ever one.
Yeah, they got double DNF.
In 2016, they were running high, double DNF. I mean, bit of foreshadowing for later in the video, but maybe Magnussen might be up there.
Mm-hmm.
He might just be up there.
Okay, into the top 7. P7, I've got Pierre Gasly.
Yeah.
You've gone quite a lot lower.
I was going to say 8 positions difference.
I have put both AlphaTauris quite high.
We've got some big differences in this grid then.
But we'll see. We'll see what they do in the race.
Because I've still got both Alpines to come in this top 7, and you've got both of them in the 15, 16. Yeah.
Yeah, so my now top 6. Hang on, you do your 7th first.
My P7 is the Spaniard. It's Fernando Alonso. You've got him well low, which is stunning. Alonso's a brilliant driver.
I put a bit low.
He's run well in Australia before. I think the Alpine car looks really quick at the moment. It did in Jeddah. I think the Alpine looked better than the Merc. I mean, considering the difficult weekend Lewis had.
Reliability problems might let him down.
Yeah, but Alonso's on his 3rd engine now. It can't keep blowing up.
Well, I don't know.
This weekend's going to be the one weekend that his engine doesn't blow up. It's all going to go right, and it's going to be a good P7.
So my top 6,
qualifying finish.
I've still got left. Russell, Perez, Magnussen, Sainz, Verstappen, Leclerc.
Okay, I have Ocon, Red Bulls, Ferraris, Russell.
Okay. P6, I have got...
So some could say I've got Merc, Red Bull and Ferrari left then.
P6, I've got the Viking. It is Kevin Magnussen. Another strong quali for Haas. He's doing very well at the moment in his return to Formula 1. And I think he'll get another good result in quali.
P6, I've got George Russell. His teammate's been struggling in quali recently, but I'm thinking another decent top 10 finish for George. I don't know what he'll do in the race. We have to wait about 10 minutes to find that out, but
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Into the top 5.
Difficult, a good quali though.
Top 5, I have then got the man who's talked about, George Russell. Again, out qualifying his teammate for the 2nd time.
Because they're currently 1-1 on quali battles.
Yeah.
So they can make that 2-1. Based on our predictions. My P5, Carlos Sainz. Got a podium last week, but I don't think he deserved one. That should definitely have been Perez. I mean, he deserved the win. Checo very harshly lost that due to Latifi forgetting how to turn.
I wouldn't say he's harsh, I think he's just unlucky.
Yeah, exactly.
Harsh sounds like it's been robbed off him by the FIA.
Yeah, it's robbed off him by Nicholas Latifi.
Yeah. I'd say he got really unlucky. He did deserve the win though.
Yeah, 100%
deserved to win. Fantastic pole position. So P5 got Sainz. P4 I have Charles Leclerc.
At P4 I have last week's pole sitter Sergio Perez.
Ooh. Okay.
So, yeah. I'm thinking decent quali for him, but still behind the top 2 and 1 shock.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you've still... Okay. Into the top 3, in 3rd, I have got Sergio Perez. As you said, last week's pole sitter looks quite quick at the moment. He looks like he's on the pace at the front, which makes a change from last season where he was a couple temps behind, but he's right on the money, and I think he'll be up there in P3.
Yeah, I think they'll be up there. Just struggling with how phones work there. We've actually got 3 and 4 swapped around, because in P3 I have Charles Leclerc. Many people's favourite for the championship. I don't know.
Definitely up there.
I think he'll... Yeah.
So I have
decent.
a front row that is shared by Verstappen and Sainz. You have a front row shared by
Verstappen and Ocon. We know they've got history.
Ocon.
If we think back to Brazil,
I think that's very
when
high.
Max clarted
So I've
the
got
Frenchman.
Ocon in P16, and you've
I've
either
got
put
him in
Ocon on pole or
top 2.
second.
Is he on pole though? That's the question. Martin Brundle. He's gone quickest to the first. He's gone quickest to the second. Is he going to put this on the front row? Is he going to put this on pole? Well, no. It's going to be Max Verstappen taking pole. I think Ocon's going to get very, very close. It's going to be an absolutely sublime lap from the Frenchman. Alpine are going to be buzzing. I think they'll be disappointed to miss out on pole because they'll be very close to it. But P2 puts him in really good stead for the race. And Max Verstappen claims his
Verstappen
second pole of the season because he took pole. No, he didn't take pole the other. It's going to be his first. Wow.
So you put Verstappen on pole. I've also put Verstappen on the front row, but not on pole. My pole position in Australia is Carlos Sainz.
First pole in F1.
First pole in F1. Perez took his last 2 weeks ago in Jeddah.
Because Sainz got close to getting one in Russia, didn't he?
Yeah.
But Lando took that.
Well, I think it's Sainz's turn, and he is going to be the quickest driver on the Saturday.
Fair enough. Should we get into Sunday then? We've got some good grids set up here.
Yes.
I've got Ocon, who's going to be a bit feisty off the front row.
I've got Sainz starting on pole for the first time in his F1 career. Will he convert it? Who knows? Let's start at the back like we always do.
Yeah.
P20, I have got George Russell with a DNF.
Mechanical issues or crash?
Crash.
Oh, is he colliding with someone or is he just by himself? Little spinella.
Yeah, because as you said, he'd only done one Australian Grand Prix.
Yeah.
So, I just think maybe a mistake, an error, run too wide somewhere, spin it round into the wall. Because the walls are quite close in Australia. I think the track name. Yeah, the walls are quite close, so any mistake, you are going into the wall. So I think that'll catch Russell out and he will not finish the race.
I have Latifi DNFing again.
Shock.
Not just like I don't think he's going to make it through turn one. I'm thinking a bit of a pile up. Bit of a mess around because I also have Leclerc and Russell DNFing. So this is what I'm thinking. Max starts strong. He's pulling away. Ocon doesn't. Gets a bit bogged down. Leclerc's going on going around his outside. He just misses so Leclerc goes. You know how turn one South Australia. So he comes across him. Ocon clips him. He spins, hits a wall. Everyone else just kind of it's pandemonium. There's drivers spinning. It all just kind of kicks off. I'm thinking Hungary vibes.
Christ, okay.
You've got George Russell. He's going to be sat there in about where did I put him qualifying? He's P6. So I think Perez and Sainz will see their way through, but Russell's going to panic. He's going to try and avoid it. He's going to spin the car while avoiding it. He's going to hit a wall and lose a tyre. 2 cars out, and then Latifi's last. I just think he's going to. He might not even start. To be fair, that's what I'm going to go for. He's gonna break down on the formation lap. They're gonna have to wheel him off the track.
I mean, that start would.
They're gonna have to do a second formation lap.
That start would definitely wake me up at that time in the morning. Christ.
Yeah.
I also have another DNF. So I have 2 DNFs.
I've got Stroll DNF as well, so that's what I'm going to change. I have Stroll and Latifi come together. They're going to make it to the grid. Stroll's going to lose out to Vettel and Albon, then Latifi and Stroll are going to come together at turn 1 as well.
Okay.
Just to create this absolute massacre of
Russell
cars.
winning it at some point in the race. I also have Yuki Tsunoda not finishing either. As you said, struggles to adapt to new tracks. Has never raced in Australia before. I think, again, just an error somewhere in the track. A spin, a crash, he's out the race.
Yeah, maybe because the chicane's been changed, but it's still quick through there.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe if you mess that up, run wide, get on the gravel, you can still spin and slap it into.
We also know is it the
braking zone wall?
It's turn 3 or 4 where Fernando Alonso found himself upside down.
Oh yeah, but Grosjean's not on the track anymore, so we should be safe.
That's quite a big.
And Mazepin's gone as well.
We've seen a lot of incidents there, but who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to the people who will finish the race.
Do you want to get 18 and 17? Because I've already done 4.
18th I've got Lance Stroll, 17th I've got Latifi. Not much to say. Slowest 2 drivers on the grid at the moment.
I have them coming together at turn 1,
anywhere.
which I think is much more exciting.
Okay, into P16. I have your front row sitter, Esteban Ocon, finishing in P16. He'll qualify P16, he'll finish P16.
Nah.
They're going to have a poor weekend.
I think Ocon's gonna after his second place in quali. I think he might have a difficult weekend. Obviously, I mentioned he clipped Leclerc, but he's not going to be in 16th. My 16th and the first of the classified runners is Sebastian Vettel. Difficult return.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I don't think the Aston looks really slow, so I'm not predicting much for him this weekend.
Okay, P15. I have Alexander Albon.
Jinx, I've also got Albon.
Not much to say.
Yeah,
it's a slow.
Williams aren't quick, but I think he'll be ahead of Vettel, who's returning from COVID. But still not a good weekend, really, for Williams. Not going to be anywhere near the points.
It's a P14. I now have the other Alpine of Fernando Alonso.
I just can't.
I think they're quick. I think they're a bad weekend. They're both maybe have not problems that are going to take them out of the race, but I think they could have problems that maybe slow them down a bit. And force them to be near the back. So 16-14 for Alpine in the race. Who's your P14?
My P14 is Yuki Tsunoda, qualifying P13. Yeah. I think he's going to drop back. He might get caught up in a little bit of the chaos. Yuki does have a tendency to just like...
I've got him crashing out.
Get involved in instance. But I think I don't think he's going to crash. I think he's just going to maybe have to slow down to not hit someone or something like
round
that.
At least.
But yeah, and then from there, I just think he'll have a difficult race. I mean, I've got a few drivers below him having really strong races, so yeah.
Okay.
It makes sense that he's the one that has to lose out in this race.
I've got the man who was starting his first race this season, Sebastian Vettel, back from COVID.
Yeah.
Aston's not a very quick car. He hasn't raced in a long time.
But still ahead of some two Alpines who got a double points finish in Bahrain, and then Ocon came 5th in Jeddah, and Alonso would have been 6th if he hadn't blown up.
I already said the Alpines going to have problems and they're going to be slow.
Okay.
Vettel P13.
Sure. P13. I've got Lando Norris.
Okay.
He's clearly the better of the McLaren drivers, but I think in Australia, fueled by magical upside down power, Ricciardo is going to win. No, Ricciardo's going to be the better of the McLaren drivers.
Yeah, P12 I've got Lando, basically just what you said there.
Pretty similar positions, yeah.
Yeah.
P12 I've got Guan Yu Zhou. I've got him qualifying at P11, so again dropping back, but it is a new circuit for him. I think Alfa Romeo will still be very happy with his positioning. I think he's going to have decent pace, but not amazing pace.
Might as well not be here. P11, I've got Guan Yu Zhou, just what you said there.
Just the same grid.
Yeah,
there's obviously some big changes because you put Alpine's well low, and I've got Leclerc
not much
out.
to really talk about there. Okay, who's your P11?
My P11 is Lewis Hamilton. Missing out on the points for the first time this season. He thought he missed out on the points in Jeddah. Didn't realise that 10th got a point. But P11, I think he's going to miss out on points. I had him qualifying P9, but I think throughout the chaos, throughout the carnage, and I don't know what pace the Merc's going to have. That's why I've got him in P11. Then P10, I've got Mick Schumacher taking his first point in Formula 1. Qualified for P14, makes his way up the grid, through the chaos, through the carnage, just like he's got a cool head, Mick, and I think he'll just kind of glide into the points. Yeah, stay out of trouble and just chill him.
P10, I have the man getting his first point of this season at his home Grand Prix, Daniel Ricciardo. I think he'll be boosted by the home crowd. I don't think he'll have an amazing result, but I still think he'll get a point from McLaren. Yeah, they have something to take from the weekend. And I think he'll be somewhat happy that he's back in the points, back at his home Grand Prix.
Yeah. In P9, I have the worst performing French driver on the grid this weekend, Pierre Gasly. Okay. I think he's going to... It's good. I mean, he's qualified P15, so he's done well to make his way up to P9.
Yeah.
But, still not... I mean, they'll take the points. Not an amazing weekend. There's nothing to write home about, but they'll take the points and move on to Imola, where I think the sprint race format will suit him, and we've seen them go quick there before.
Although the Monza sprint did go off and have to start
home last. GP. Yeah, but in Imola, I don't know. I just think the aggressive nature suits Gasly because he's a very good overtaker.
It didn't work in Monza, but it may work elsewhere.
Exactly.
P9, I have Lewis Hamilton, as you just said.
I had him P11
2 editions ago. I think he's going to struggle, get beaten by his teammate again. Maybe setup's not quite right still. Have a bit of a tough weekend.
At P8, I've got a massive home race for Oscar Piastri. Massive home race for Daniel Ricciardo.
P8, that's good. I'd love to see that.
Yeah. Still not McLaren's best performance of the season. Obviously, Norris picking up P7 in Jeddah, but big points for the team. Big points for Ricciardo. We'll put the team on 10 and him on 4. So I think, he'll take that.
Okay. P8, I've got Gasly, who you also did literally just talk about
Yeah.
not an okay race for Gasly really. I think he's not really going to be involved much, not much battling. He's kind of just going to sit in P8 and everything else is going to happen around him.
Yeah.
And he's just going to take his 4 points and run with it. Not running.
Yeah, fair enough. My P7, I have a driver who's done all right. I mean, Australia before, he's had some interesting races, some unfortunate luck there. It's Valtteri Bottas. But I'm thinking here he's going to have some decent pace. Alfa Romeo looks quick. And I think he's going to build on the P10 qualifying position, finish P7, mainly due to the fact that other drivers DNF'd and he's just going to remain cool throughout it. So he'll benefit from that and he'll get a P7, which is another good result for the team. And I think they'll take that big haul of points. We'll just, you do your P7 and then we'll
P7.
look at who's everyone got in the P6.
His first ever points in Formula 1, I've got Mick Schumacher.
I mean, there's taking your first points and there's absolutely smashing out the park like that, isn't there?
12th on the grid, I think is, with Tsunoda and Russell not finishing in front of him, that's 2 positions.
Yeah.
And then I think Hamilton struggling, Lando struggling as well. A couple of drivers struggling elsewhere. He's got a good pace, and he'll get a strong result in P7.
Fair enough. Right, in the top 6, I've still got Alpine's, Red Bull's, Sainz and Magnussen to go.
I've got Red Bulls, Ferraris, Bottas and Magnussen.
Yeah, so some big drivers still to decide positions.
Okay, P6.
P6, I've got an Alpine driver.
I've got an Alfa Romeo driver.
It's not Esteban Ocon, it's Fernando Alonso. Big points for him. Obviously missing out big time in Jeddah due to an engine failure, but yeah, I'm thinking he's going to bounce back here. A track he knows well, obviously very experienced, Fernando Alonso. Now the most experienced on the grid, I believe. Because Kimi's gone now.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm thinking strong showing from Fernando and a strong overall showing from Alpine, clearly.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I'll take that.
P6, I got Valtteri Bottas. Again, he lost P6. I'm expecting to have a good result from the Flying Finn.
P5, I've got Perez. Now I'm going to run through my little things. So obviously, after Ocon hit Leclerc and that, they're obviously going to have to bring out the red flag. But I think Ocon's going to get passed by Sainz and Perez through all the carnage.
Probably pick up a penalty as well.
Well, no, I don't know.
I'm taking that to the camera.
I think they're going to look at it as a racing incident.
Right.
I think that's what they're going to do.
The one where he clips someone and turns into a wall.
Yeah, I think they might deem that Charles was a little bit funny. No, they're going to give Ocon a 5-second time penalty. But still, Sainz and Perez are going to get past him. So that's going to... That might end up costing him a podium, I think, Ocon. But yeah, Sainz and Perez will get past. P5, though, I have got Perez. Because I think later in the race... They'll sacrifice him for strategy and it'll end up him being on the wrong one. But that will help out Max. I think they'll send him out to see what happens with the undercut. Is there an undercut? See that there's not one. Perez will be ruined.
Yeah.
And then they'll be able to use that to Max's advantage later in the race.
Okay. P5, I've got Kevin Magnussen recording a great result for Haas and recording Haas's first double points finish for God knows when. Years.
I also have a Haas double points finish.
Great result for Magnussen. And Haas will be very happy. Gunter Steiner will be ecstatic.
So you've got a very boring top 4. I've got a very exciting one. My P4, Esteban Ocon. So that 5-second time penalty, he's going to be running in P3. But then I think he'll pick up that penalty. He'll be running in P3 after Perez has been knocked down, just that strategy thing. Then I think his 5-second time penalty will demote him off the podium and into P4, and then taking his. I don't know if it's his first podium in Formula 1, but it's Kevin Magnussen taking P3. It's got to be Haas's, surely. I don't remember Haas ever getting a podium.
I think so.
They might have. I don't know. But redemption day for Haas, for Magnussen, and they're going to get a podium in Australia. So I think they'll be buzzing with that.
So you usually do P4 and 3.
Yes.
P4, I've got Sainz. P3, I've got Leclerc.
This is what I meant about being boring.
So, yeah,
Ferrari 3, 4.
I think, again...
Damage limitation with Red Bull having the pace.
Yeah.
Basically.
I think Red Bull will be quicker. Red Bull will take a 1-2, but in which order? Get onto that.
Oh, who knows? So, you've got Red
fun.
Bulls left in your 1-2.
Yeah.
I have Verstappen and Sainz. I think you can. I think everyone can tell where this one's going.
I don't know.
I'm saying Max Verstappen is
boring.
going to convert the pole and he's going to take the win in Australia. I think Sainz going to show decent pace and be, as I've said like 50 times throughout this video, going to be calm throughout the chaos and carnage, and come through for a decent P2, which will take him to. Let me just check the standings quickly to make sure I am correct.
Should say. But yeah, I'll keep talking. So I have the Red Bulls in a 2-3. Verstappen second, Perez third.
I'm not correct.
In quali.
Oh, wait. No, I am correct. Which will take Carlos Sainz to P1 in the championship.
Oh.
So it won't be Max that will lead. Unless, no, well, if Max takes fastest lap, then they'll be joint. That's what's going to happen.
Right.
So Carlos will be top, but Max will
Okay.
take fastest lap, and then they'll be joint on 51 each.
So I have Verstappen and
Charles
Perez
not
left,
scoring points.
and winning my Australian Grand Prix is, of course, Max Verstappen.
Nice.
I think he's going to drive a strong race. But I think Perez will also keep him honest and keep him under a little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
And hold. But Perez might have to hold off Leclerc from behind. But he will. And it'll be a Red Bull 1-2.
Yeah.
In Australia.
After my predictions, that'll leave Carlos top of the championship with Max. Well, it'll be Max, won't it? Because he's won more races. So it'll be Max and Carlos joint top.
Mm-hmm.
Be Charles in P3. Then it's going to be Kevin Magnussen. Then Ocon, I think. If I can do maths. Hang on, how many points is everyone getting here? So Russell and Hamilton aren't scoring anything. K-Mag's getting 15. He'll be on 27. So yeah, that'll put him into P4. And then Ocon, he's getting 12, 26. Yeah, that'll put him into P5. So that'll be my top 5. And you've got Verstappen winning.
Verstappen, then Perez, then
But he
Leclerc,
won't take
then
the lead of the
Sainz.
championship just yet because Leclerc and Sainz
Yeah.
both getting 15 and 12 points.
But Perez will jump up to 4th.
Well, Max will go ahead of Sainz, but not quite ahead of Leclerc. And then Perez is 18. We'll see him climb up to 4th. Depending on... You've got Russell not scoring,
Yeah,
right? And Hamilton low
right.
points. So, yeah.
Okay. Hopefully we see one of our predictions come true.
Yeah,
because
that would be good.
Both were quite exciting.
Yeah, you really not back in the Alpine team.
No.
Whereas with my points,
I think
they will
quick.
they'll take a P3.
I think
I
quick
think.
car, but I think they have engine problems and car set up wrong and make mistakes over the weekend. Like slow. Like
Okay.
I can see a slow pit stop. Like they can't get the front tyre off, and they're there for like 10 seconds.
Right, you're just making obviously go along now. Anyway.
So you.
No, I know exactly what's going to happen.
He might get a penalty. Oh, I didn't think about that one.
He did get a penalty. Well, no, I did. I just playing dumb.
Dumb, obviously.
That's about everything for this video, though. Of course, there is W Series as well, but I don't think there's much to discuss other than Jamie Chadwick's going to win, isn't she?
Probably, yeah.
Win the whole championship sorted.
But I do think there's some,
It's a shame that Chadwick is kind of forced to still compete in W Series.
Yeah.
Because no F2 or F3 team will take her on.
Not even F4 either.
Well, I'd say W Series is above F4 because W Series still follows the calendar of F1, whereas F4 doesn't. And she's already done F4, I'm fairly sure.
F3, someone in F3 would give her a chance.
Yeah, especially
she'd do alright.
whoever's employing. Trying to think of the worst drivers now. In F2, whoever's got Caldwell. Why?
He's in F. Oh yeah, sorry, I have to use F2. F3.
Who does Cordeal drive for? Because he's apparently a dickhead.
He's rubbish.
Well, apparently his brother was on Instagram saying he's horrible.
All that bloke that missed the weighbridge had to start from the back twice. That's the thing, I think in a grid,
Germaini.
in a grid of 30 drivers, she would probably be in, at least in the top 20.
Yeah, she's not going to be one of the back markers.
No. And it'll be a good but hopefully we do see that.
I think it'll be a good race though.
Yeah.
W Series now with one more team, I think, with Jenna Racing added. There might be another one or two in there, but I do think with her
Do you think
financial
they're gonna absolutely
backing, that
fly?
could make
you
could make a big difference.
Do you
Although
think Chadwick's just going to win by
they've
like
got
30
they've got
seconds?
Chadwick, they've got the money to be able to bring in the best of the business to be mechanics and engineers.
Do you think Abby Pudding's
pit
got
crew
a
and
bit of
stuff.
potential?
Yeah, she seems like a really good young
Alice
driver.
Powell's not a bad driver. Well, she won a
It's
couple
just
races
decent.
last year. Volvend won one. But hopefully they're
Yeah,
all good
there's
races.
some talent there. Big talent. Hopefully they all get a chance. So, well, at least some of them get chances in F2 and
Like
F3 in
Chadwick.
coming years.
Well, see, how young is Chadwick? Because obviously, Abby Pudding.
Like 25 or something now.
Abby Pudding is quite
Well,
young,
young, yeah.
whereas Chadwick is 25. For a racing driver, you're starting to get to let's probably say the middle of your career.
Yeah, well, some can go to their 40, but yeah.
Oh, you think Max has already won? Max Verstappen's already won a world championship at what 22?
23.
23.
I think that's where we'll round it up though.
Yeah.
As I mentioned at the start, we unfortunately won't be able to do a review because just can't.
So, yeah.
But make sure to check out our socials because we will be at the Romy Prix and we will be giving constant updates and stuff. I mean, if I film anything mental, I'll probably upload it as a YouTube short, but
yeah,
like someone toppling someone over at the corner we're
like
positioned at.
Yeah.
If something good, if something really good happens,
Costa puts De Vries in a wall.
that would make me very angry. And we probably wouldn't talk for the next week. That'd be a very depressing time in Italy. But yeah, if you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment down below all of your predictions for the Australian Grand Prix. This will be out. Yeah, this will be out on the Friday. So there will have been FE predictions yesterday. So go check that out if you're interested and haven't seen that already. But yeah, make sure to subscribe if you're new. We're going to be doing all this every week basically. And when there's not F1, we might make other content as well around F1 and stuff. So yeah, just subscribe for all that good stuff and hit notification bell so you always get notified when we upload. But yes, thank you all very much for watching. We'll see you next time.
See you, mate.